Good morning. I wanted to talk about something that we're going to be focusing on all day long here on Channel 4 Action News. As the city is marking a really somber anniversary, this is the fourth year anniversary of a horrible situation that happened. So many of us remember it so well, unfortunately. A gunman went into the Tree of Life Synagogue in Squirrel Hill here in Pittsburgh and killed 11 people and wounded six others. What a horrible morning that was. There are remembrances happening today that we'll be covering all morning long. Um, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we had in mind. Good morning, Charlie. That was your 50th birthday. Never forget that day. Good morning, Dan. I wanted to share with you a couple of things. We've been working on stories in commemoration to the victims, and let's remember the victims right now. Here they are: Daniel Stein, Irving Younger, David Rosenthal, Richard Godfried, Joyce Feinberg, Melvin Wax, Jerry Rabinowitz, and Rose Mallinger. These were the 11 victims that the gunman killed. He also hurt six others, and just a terrible, terrible situation. He still has not faced trial. We can tell you he's 46 years old, and we will be following his trial. That should happen sometime next year. But today is a day of remembrance, but it's also a day of hope. When I shared with you the victims that were killed. The last woman you see there is Rose Mallinger. Her daughter was with her inside the Tree of Life Synagogue that morning, where three congregations were actually meeting. It was an early Saturday morning when this happened. Um, Rose's daughter, Andrea, was there with her, and I recently had a chance to talk to her. And I want to tell you a little bit about that because it's really powerful. So, Andrea's husband wanted to help with the ceremony, and he thought it was important to get children's voices, the future involved in this. And so he contacted a community day school in Squirrel Hill where some sixth graders started making an art project. Now, this art project is going to greet people at the ceremony that's happening later today at 4 o'clock in Chinley Park. But I had a chance to talk to them, and I want to show this to you now, and I want you to watch the sixth graders talk with Andrea Wegner, who was in there and survived, and they really wanted to look toward the future. So I'll let them describe it for you. In the meantime, I'm going to be turning on your comments and reading what you have to say about this. Good morning, everybody. The hate needs to stop. Yes. May their message memory be eternal. I'm going to keep reading these, and in the meantime, I'm going to share with you the story that I did. For those of you who watch the morning news, you may have already seen this, but I wanted to share it with you again. So here it is. A project of hope, a message of healing, a symbol of resilience, all from the young Jewish community. These sixth graders shared their artwork with Ron and Andrea Wedner. Andrea was inside the Tree of Life when the gunman attacked, and her mother, Rose Mallinger, died.
We can't be stopped by this. We are going to rebuild. We're going to, be even more together.
These students were only in the second grade when that happened, but they vow to not let that tragedy stop them. Ron Wedner thought bringing in voices of the future would be important to include in the memorial ceremony, so he asked the community day school to help create something.
Andrea was injured at the Tree of Life that day, and her mother was one of the victims. So this project that you guys are working on is very special to us.
Ron and Andrea admired the artwork and the message behind it.
I don't really know the experience, but if I put myself in your shoes, it would probably be really scary.
They not only talked about what happened that terrible day, but also how the community can move forward.
Just learn to appreciate every day.
and the people that you're with.
And you have to be kind to people and accept people for their differences and just move forward.
Art teacher Erin Lewis says she's so proud of what her students decided to do.
Puzzle pieces symbolize the unique voices within the Jewish community, and they come together to create this one image. And the image is of a tree. And so the tree symbolizes growth and moving forward together.
We need to not take that as a setback, but as like a chance to grow more.
And their messages through this art will be at the entrance to the memorial ceremony.
I think the people will see as they walk down Prospect Drive on Thursday to the actual staging area, it's going to hit them pretty hard.
It just makes us feel good that they know what this project is about and they're putting their hearts into it.
She says 4 years later, and she's doing what she can to move forward and to honor her mother.
I'm good. Life is good. I have mostly good days. There's times where I get emotional, especially this time of year. But I've chosen to live my life and carry on through my mother.
So special to see her interacting with those students. It meant a lot to her to be there talking to the students, hearing their perspective, and they all said the same thing. They were vowing to move forward, and they're hoping the art that they're creating sends a message that that's what they're ready to do. I want to go through now and read some of your comments here. Thank you, Tina. Good morning, Linda. Eric says, horrible event, the hate needs to stop. And that is just so true. And it is important that we remember. And so we're going to be marking this event all day today and honoring the victims. And again, looking toward the future. Beautifully said, Janet. Yeah, I can't even imagine. I'm sure most of us remember where we were, what we were doing when we started getting the news coming in. Um, just horrible. Deborah, that's very thoughtful. Um, Good morning, Lisa. Yeah, this morning, thanks for watching this morning. We marked the occasion all this morning, and Janelle and Ryan and I took turns reading the names of the victims. Again, 6 others were hurt, and that's something that Andrea's husband pointed out to these students is it's important we remember there were 11 lives lost, but also there's hope because 6 people survived, and they talked a lot about the first responders, Pittsburgh police, Pittsburgh SWAT that just went in without hesitation to save people. Some of those officers were pretty seriously hurt, and they put their life on the line to rescue who they could, and that's important too, and we'll be honoring them today as well. Rededicate ourselves to compassion and community for all. We must remember. This was heartbreaking for everyone. I could not turn off the TV. Hard to think it could happen in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Elizabeth, that's what we all were saying. I was here the morning that it happened here in the studio, and it was hard to believe. And it still is hard to believe that this could happen. But it did, and it's important to remember. Makes no sense, right? It's hard to understand. But these children that we talked to in the community day school and their wonderful art teacher promised to move forward and to move on and not to let this event stop them and their community, which I think is a really beautiful message. Eric, very well said. All right, well, that's about all that I wanted to get across today on Facebook. We had a lot of news, lots of stuff happening today in addition to this. Um, so we hope you'll join us. But again, the ceremony at Shenley Park today starts at 4 o'clock, and we will be there covering it. Lots of things are planned. They're going to unveil that later today, so I will let them do that. But in the meantime, we just wanted to remember the victims, and I should put their pictures up here one more time and just mention their names. Sylvan Simon, Bernice Simon, Cecil Rosenthal, Daniel Stein, Irving Younger, David Rosenthal, Richard Gottfried, Joyce Feinberg, Melvin Wax, Jerry Rabinowitz, and Rose Mallinger. All right. Thanks for joining me here. Thanks for all of your comments and support. I always love hearing from you. But we just wanted to mark this occasion today on this day of remembrance of what happened 4 years ago. Much more to come all day long on Channel 4.